My name is Bill Collins, and I'm the Food Explorer. Today, we're bringing back the second annual Slider Bowl. All right, so first up today, we've got Philadelphia, known for their epic cheesesteaks, and Kansas City, known for their awesome barbecue. So let's get ready for the big game. All right, so we're gonna be cooking an Asian barbecue short rib slider. It's gonna have a crispy short rib with a sweet Asian barbecue, a little bit of a honey ginger slaw. We're gonna top that with some kimchi and finish it off with a Thai chili crisp. Now, Kansas City has the ball first, so let's get cooking. All right, so I've got some short ribs that I've already pre-braised up. They're delicious and fall off the bone. So we're gonna whip up a quick barbecue sauce, and then we're gonna get these glazed up and into the oven. I'm gonna lead off with a little hoisin sauce, which is, the baseline for an Asian barbecue. Then we're gonna hop into some delicious Japanese barbecue sauce. Now this is a little wet, so what I like to do is I also add in a little of my favorite Sweet Baby Ray's, sweet and spicy. I get that in there, and then we'll get a little drizzle over the top of each of these beautiful pieces of short rib. We're gonna get those nice and crispy under the broiler. All right. So now into the oven at 375. Next up, we'll get our slaw prepped. So I've got a slaw that I purchased in the grocery store. Excellent product, just a little bit of cabbage, Napa cabbage, red cabbage, a little bit of carrot, a little honey ginger dressing. So this is really easy to throw together quickly. We'll get that tossed up. We'll set it aside and let the vinegar start doing its work on the cabbage. Next up, we're gonna get our Thai chili crisp mayo ready. We're gonna take 1 spoonful. It's packed with flavor, packed with a little bit of spice with the chili. We're gonna put some mayo into the bowl here, get that mixed up, and some green onion. And this is gonna whip up and become this beautiful little Asian aioli here. That just looks great. I've got these beautiful local baked snowflake rolls here. And we're just gonna get a couple of these grilled up nice and golden brown with a little bit of butter. And the first thing I wanna do is I wanna get some butter into the pan. All right, we'll get this all melted down nice. Now we're gonna put the snowflake buns right into this hot butter, and we're gonna get these crisped up beautifully and ready for our short rib. We're now just gonna start crisping these up and getting that barbecue sauce kind of caramelized in this hot pan on the outside. Then what we'll do is we'll save this barbecue, and after this is nice and crispy, we're gonna toss them back in one more time with the remaining barbecue in the pan. So now that flavor is just getting locked in. You can see that'll caramelize right up on there. We'll give it one final toss once they're all crisped up. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna bring this right back in. This is now crisped up a little bit. We're gonna soak up the rest of that barbecue sauce in here. And we're gonna be ready to start plating. We're gonna start with our Thai chili crisp aioli. Oh yeah, look at that. And you just hear the crispiness of that bread. That's what you're looking for there. We pull over our barbecue short rib, oh yeah, of our slaw, right on top. And don't worry about piling this high. Let some fall off the sides. Don't be shy. Let's get a little kimchi on this bad boy. So it can be very spicy. Today I went with a mild because I'm using the Thai chili crisp. And we just throw a toothpick through there, and so far, it looks like Kansas City might be in the lead. And now we're on to Philly, where we're doing the gourmet Philly cheesesteak. This cheesesteak is gonna be shaved prime rib. It's gonna have onions, mushrooms, peppers, a delicious cheddar cheese fondue, and the final secret ingredient, which is gonna be a prime rib seasoned, parsley, and horseradish infused aioli. It's gonna be delicious, guaranteed for a touchdown. So now we're gonna start prepping the veggies, all right? We're gonna start by julienning an onion. And now the mushrooms. Now we're gonna get into our peppers, and then we'll wrap up with our garlic and we'll get sauteing. I like the two different colors too. For me, I love the crispness of the green, but I also really like the reds. You know, just add that little bit of sweetness in, especially when they start to cook down and caramelize with the onions. I think it tastes great that way. All right, so now we can check the peppers off the list, and we're gonna get into the garlic, which will be our final veggie ingredient. We'll start sauteing this stuff up. I like garlic a lot. So for me, you know, I take a handful. I would never use an exact measurement. I like my garlic kind of sliced rough. I like to taste my garlic. I don't want it to disappear or melt in this dish. I want to get little cloves, little chunks. And, you know, if Philly ever gets in again, I think if I had another chance at doing another Philly dish, they make this beautiful roast pork dish with broccoli rabe and pork broth, and I think that would be my next choice. But I figure this year we have to pay homage to the Philly cheesesteak. So now we're gonna saute. As always, we're gonna start with a little Trae olive and make sure that you get a little bit of heat on it before you start cooking. That helps because that's what you wanna hear. You wanna hear that sizzle right there. Next in is gonna go our mushrooms and garlic. And then lastly, we're gonna add our onions in. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go on a medium heat here and just let this go. We want these veggies to sear up, start to caramelize, let all the flavors start to work together. I'm gonna hit this with a little bit of salt and pepper as well at this stage. There we go, be generous. There's a lot of veggies in here. All right, so now we're on to the aioli. All right, we're gonna start by just grabbing a little bit of parsley here. Just gonna rough chop that parsley, get that right into the aioli bowl that we're gonna mix this in. And again, there's no, you know, perfect way, just a quick rough chop. Run your knife through it twice is fine. Right into the bowl, okay? Next, we're gonna put some mayo in. And again, we just want this sandwich to be packed with flavor. So a little bit of Hellmann's mayo. You can use the mayo of your choice. Duke's is really good too, if you're down south. I don't know if they use Duke's in Philly, but they very well may. Next is gonna be a little horseradish. So a little scoop of horseradish here, just for that flavor bang right there in the Philly cheesesteak. And the secret ingredient that's really gonna make this aioli pop is this prime rib spice.
Penalty, excessive flavor.
She's always giving me penalties. This isn't a penalty, it's a touchdown. Can you believe I got 10 yards for that? All right, here we are. We're mixing up the aioli. This looks so good, we'll give it a little taste. You know, I never think to put prime rib spice into an aioli, but I think it's gonna really set it off. Oh man, that's good. Next, we're gonna get to the fondue. All right, so we're gonna get some heat on here. I'm gonna bring out a sauce pot. We'll get that up on the heat. All right, we're gonna start off just to drop a Trae olive and grab a little bit of this garlic here and get this going. So we don't want to get too much color on this garlic. We just want to cook it down a little bit so that it's fully cooked and the flavor starts releasing into the rest of the ingredients. Once the garlic's at your desired color, we're going to add cream. All right, we're going to let that cream start to boil down a little bit. I'm going to add in some fresh butter as well, and then we'll add the cheese. What we're gonna do is we're gonna just kind of gently start adding it in so it starts to melt in and create this wonderful fondue. Now you can see that's starting to thicken up right away. Now, it surprises me that when I went to Philly and I had a cheesesteak, they're using whiz out of a can when you could be making this. I mean, how good does this look? Already, it's not all melted. We have a cheese pull going on. I mean, this is the situation. We'll let this sit and we'll get started on the steak. We're gonna add our beef. We're gonna add a little bit of butter with the beef, just 1 tab, and some salt and pepper. All right, our salt and pepper. There we go. And we're gonna just start shredding that beef up in here. We want this all to get cooked down. And I didn't clean the pan. I used the same pan that I just sauteed the garlic, the onions, the mushrooms in. I wanna pick up all of that flavor. I wanna leave nothing behind. Every little morsel is gonna be delicious. This is smelling pretty good. All right, butter in. And again, that butter is almost gonna like deglaze the pan, right? So it's gonna pull off any of these morsels get that cooked in with the beef. We're gonna add back in some of this onion, mushroom, pepper, and garlic. Now I take that out because I want to give the whole cooking surface to the beef. Now I can mix that back in, and we're gonna have the perfect combination of the right amount of onions, peppers, and mushrooms so it doesn't overpower. All right, now we'll toast up the bread. What we've done is we've got a pan going over there with a little bit of butter. We're gonna get these small little sandwich rolls toasted up golden brown with a little bit of butter for flavor. It's gonna be delicious and the perfect palate for that beautiful steak and cheese, our wonderful aioli, and that outrageous fondue. All right, let's start toasting up. First, we get that butter going. We just want that bread to get right in there and start soaking that butter up. So we're gonna have to do a couple at a time here. I'll tell you, the way this is smelling right now, I'm expecting a phone call from Jason Kelsey because I think he's gonna want me to endorse his next product. It's probably gonna be the new cheesesteak or the gourmet cheesesteak of Philadelphia.
Time to plate.
All right, so we've got our toasted buns. These look absolutely phenomenal. Now we're bringing across our beef. Oh my goodness, that looks good. And don't sleep on this, the fondue. This is gonna be the best part of the dish. We're gonna start off with our amazing aioli. Look at that. That is what I'm talking about right there. Then we're gonna move to the beef. All right. Now this is a cheesesteak, so don't skimp. You need a lot of beef on there. You need the onions, the mushrooms, the peppers. And finally, look at that fondue. Baby, that is what I'm talking about. That is a cheesesteak. I don't care if you're from Philly and you think you should eat cheese out of a can, but that is not the case. This, my friends, that's a cheesesteak slider. So no matter who you're rooting for or where you're celebrating, these two sliders are sure to make your party better. I have to tell you, a Treehouse Green pairs perfectly with both of them, so crack one of those for the big game. Check us out on social, The Food Explorer, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.